Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today's video is all about the differences between employee versus freelancer interviews. So let's dive into those differences right now. The first difference is that freelancers tend to have a very fast interview process. Companies want to find you and hire you quickly so that you can hit the ground running. Being an employee, the interview process is a lot slower. The companies need to ensure that they have the right team fit. They need to ensure that you're going to work with the company and with the company culture. Sometimes freelancers aren't even based at the company. Some freelance roles are completely remote, so it's often not very high on the priority list. Difference number two, less interviews. Freelancers, you tend to have less rounds of interview. They tend to be more informal. You may have Skype interviews instead of face-to-face. You may have phone interviews, or maybe even just interviews over text or email or over a messaging system online. This is particularly relevant to freelancing websites, which I have other videos about. Being an employee, you have to often go through many rounds of interview, which can be stressful, and they can take many weeks. The interview process is not only long, but the number of interviews for being an employee is often extended. It's very important, as I mentioned earlier, that the new employee fits in with that team. Face-to-face interviews, different rounds of face-to-face interview are very common with employee interviews. Freelancer interviews tend to be more skill-based or more based around your portfolio. Employee interviews tend to be more personality and team fit based. Freelancers tend to be faster to hire. You may have an interview on a Thursday and get offered the job on a Friday. The employee interview process takes a lot longer. You may have an interview in the first week of a month, the second week of the month, and a final stage interview on the fourth week of the month. Freelancers require less references. Employees require many more references. The interview process for freelancers, they don't often care about gaps in your CV. Being an employee, they care a lot about gaps in your CV. You may need to explain even 2 or 3 weeks gap in your CV, whereas being a freelancer, they mostly care about if you can deliver and do the job. In general, freelancing is results driven. Being an employee in employee style interviews is team driven. I'm talking very generally here. Freelancer interviews tend to be more informal. Employee interviews tend to be more formal. You may need to wear a suit if you're a man. You may need to dress in very business formal type clothing, whereas within freelancer interviews, you can sometimes wear casual clothing. Especially for online interviews, they may not even see what you're wearing. I've hired many people online, and I have never asked to have a face-to-face interview. I base solely on the skills and experiences and the likelihood of that individual to be able to complete the task that I'm setting. So there we have it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree? What's it been like in your experience? A lot of the comments I've mentioned are just in general, so they may not work for every circumstance, but I'd love to hear back from you. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this video, like it on YouTube, subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell button to get the latest notifications on the next videos that get posted. And see you in the next video. Make sure you check out my other videos for tips, tricks, and hacks, as well as other pros and cons.